Well, hey there guys, it's Mike from Just Car People Things. We are tinkering with our Project 2004 Toyota Tundra. We got some color chips to touch up still. But one thing I want to show today is I'm using this cool product from a company called Cerakote. They're pretty well known in like the gun world and the coatings world, Cerakote. They make a product called Trimcoat. And I noticed on the vehicle that our running board runners here and then our mud flaps and some of our surrounding trim really starting to look pretty aged. So they give you a big pack. I'll show you on the other side here, but they give you a big pack of these. They come in sealed foil pouches, and they're impregnated with like a material. And what you do is you come through and you just coat down the metal or the rubber product, the plastic product. So you can see here instant color change, kind of a back to black, which I know is a Meguiar's product, but my understanding is this product dries essentially almost like a ceramic coat, like a solid, and so it will bring you this color back and you will be able to get a nice black trim piece back on your car. And you just kind of be careful with it. You don't want to get it on the non-rubber or plastic components on your car, and you just sort of work it in. So what I've been doing is on these, this is the last of the four of these, there's four of the side steps, is basically taking like an edge or a corner and getting that down into, you can see there's some real texture on this, obviously, to help you get a grip. So we'll work on this one for a sec. This is one of the many projects we've been engaged in on our 2004 Toyota Tundra, which is sitting here in front of us. And we bought this car around the corner from our house, and I've had a blast with it. I know it sounds silly to say that. Behind this truck, you'll see in a moment, are Honda S2000, an AP1, and a Camaro 1LE, which are great and amazing sports cars and super fun to drive and very engaging, and check every box on that fun factor. You know, you can't go wrong with picking an S2000 or a 1LE for a fun car or a track car. But what I can tell you is that they don't do certain things very well. You know, they don't run to Home Depot very well. They don't really fulfill a lot of those needs to haul things around all the time. I've definitely done it before. I lived for a period with an NA Miata as my only car, or NB Miata as my only car. And you know, I was young and dumb in my early 20s, and my friend had a truck, and if you ever needed a truck, you just called your friend and you just started begging and giving him free beer. So now that we're a little older and a little more adult here, we've gone out and procured ourselves a pickup truck. And honestly, it's been really cool so far. I've really been enjoying owning it. I know that sounds silly to say that. Be part of the full-size gang, because this is a full-size Toyota Tundra. You know, I do think this truck is like the perfect size, though. I think it's a really manageable size for a full-size truck. The new stuff is just huge. Drove a friend's TRD Pro Tundra recently, and it just was not easy to manage. So I'll jump in now that we're almost done here, talk a little bit about the process for using this product, which we're in right now. You're going to want to clean this plastic first, and you'll notice this was really gray looking despite it being originally black. And the reason for that was I sprayed all this down to remove any additional stuff on it with isopropyl alcohol and let it dry, and then scrubbed it with isopropyl alcohol. And IPA mixed 50-50 with water will degrease and remove most of your common car stuff. So all those silicone based, you know, Armor All 303, stuff like that type products, you want to remove all that residue before you go to something like this. This is actually designed to be a coating. It has a cure time, and it will basically come through and solidify onto there and leave you with this really nice black looking color. We'll show you some on the other side, but I did want to grab this one little trim piece right here, and you can just see the color shift on that. So we soaked all this down in isopropyl alcohol. See that big color shift there? As the plastic darkens, it's kind of breathes a little life back into that plastic. We're just trying not to get it on the paint, and we're doing a pretty good job of that so far. If it does get on the paint, you can just wipe it off, but I was slacking and I didn't wash the whole car. So you guys would appreciate that. I said, oh God, I don't feel like it. It's going to rain again probably later today, and I just don't want to go through that process. I am going to come back and hit these guys, and you can just see kind of what that looks like. And the color differential there, you can see how dark our mud flaps are now. We went through and we hit this piece of trim up here on top, and what you do is if you see a dry spot, you come back in and you just touch it back up. So that's kind of the trick for how to do this. And we're gonna shut this door. It's really a lot of traffic today, man. It's loud. Sorry. So we did do the bumper, which now that I shut the door, you can't see very well, but the bumper's all kind of back to black, looking really good. Again, if you see a little spot that just, you're like, I didn't get quite into that little crack or crevice there, or, you know, whatever, you just come back through, hit it one more time, and you're good to go. So 2 coats is normally what they say is the max of what you need. This piece I just did here a few minutes ago, I'll come back through, maybe do it one more time with a fresh one of these. This is my third one of these I've been through. There's the other 2 right here. You get a total of 10 of these in a pack from our friends at Cerakote. Comes in a nice little box and pair of gloves. Total cost here is about 16 bucks, 17 bucks, 10 application wipes, 1 pair of gloves, made in the States, Oregon. Good people out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. We got 2 left. We've done all of our mud flaps now once. We did over here. You can see this guy is dry. These guys are kind of curing up or drying. You got to go about half an hour before you're supposed to drive the vehicle. So I'm going to pull 1 more out and set the remaining 6 aside. If you've got a smaller car like an S2000 and you're just doing mud flaps, maybe a piece of trim, you could easily get away with 1 or 2 of these. If you've got a a big pickup truck or a larger SUV, something like that, you're going to want to go to probably the full pack of these, and they sell them by 10. So what they tell you to do, and this stuff's a little strong smelling, it's not supposed to be particularly toxic, but what they tell you to do is come in, and just to avoid getting it on the paint, what you want to do is just kind of almost run right along that edge. And this I left this piece for last because this is, 1, the most noticeable piece on the truck, and 2, it's going to require probably the finest hand to be able to do this. So let's come back through and around that front edge there. Okay, and then you can just work the product a little more easily. So sometimes you can almost even, it sounds silly, but you can almost even like slot your fingernail behind the trim and allow that to kind of guide. If I leave my finger a little ahead of the product up against there, you can almost just glide it right along the whole way along and hit it perfectly. It's kind of a cheater trick there. And if you do get any of this, see that, just to give you that nice smooth line. If you do get any of this product in the paint, all you do is just wipe it off before it dries. No big deal. So that said, way easier to, as the joke goes, do it right the first time. Ooh, and that's even sharpening up that middle too. Look at the difference there. Cool. Man, that looks good. All right. Well, this is a great way to take your 200,000 mile truck and make it look like a 100,000 mile truck, which for 16 bucks, that's a pretty good shake. Very happy so far with this product. I'll probably come back and jump back in video with you guys here in a few minutes. You're kind of seeing the process here. It's not really rocket science. You just got to slap it on the car in a way that is nice. After you clean off the panels, they say you can use Dawn dishwashing soap as one of the products they recommended, just like the Blue Dawn dishwashing soap to degrease these. I used isopropyl alcohol, probably actually a little bit more effective. And the nice thing about IPA is that it will kind of self-dry a little bit because it'll flash off. So that makes it a little easier. They talked about potentially even using compressed air. You can even use your finger to spread the product if there's enough on your fingers. They talked about using compressed air to potentially blow out all these different crevices and stuff. So that's why I thought IPA would be a really good choice, because I didn't feel like hauling out the air compressor and firing everything up and making a ton of noise while I'm doing a video and all that other stuff. So sometimes it's easier just to kind of go with some products you have. I had some IPA left over, 50-50 mixed in a bottle and in a spray bottle, and just went through and no problemo. So there we go. Right across there, you see easy peasy, didn't really get any on the paint. And then we'll just come around the back side here and get the bottom, the lower. All right. Now, I was told that if you come back and you see any spots that are, again, not quite good, not quite where you want to be, This does chew a little on the plastic. I'm noticing a little bit of transfer in terms of color and dirt. I did come through and do this piece here. It's curing now. You can see it's kind of coming back down to like a matte color. I noticed that. I did the trim down here, try to give that a little bit of love. This is in rough shape. It's kind of deteriorated from the sun over time, but the thing that I like about this is it's brought it back to a nice black sheen. It looks really clean. It's going to blend really nicely once it's all done and look really good. So kind of a work in progress here right now, but we'll jump back with you in a few minutes just to chat about what it looks like a little bit more when it's dry. So thanks for tuning in so far. If you've got questions about the product or whatever else, I'm sure I'll put an affiliate link down in the chat here for you guys to check out if you want to buy some off Amazon. I think it was, again, like $16. Cheers. Well, all right, folks, we're back here after 24 hours and just wanted to show off real quick the finalized trim and how it looks with the Cerakote, and kind of looks brand new. These are still a little rough. I'm not really happy with how the mud flaps turned out, but overall, looking at a lot of the trim in the car, the back bumper is amazing. I'm gonna snake through here. Back bumper looks like new. It really turned out nice, and I'm sure it'll wear down a little over time, you know, and just kind of look a little more matte and more normal, but it's got great pop to it. It really looks good. The mud flaps are a little streaky still, so not in love with that. I did run into one silly problem earlier today. You might have noticed on the other side of the truck, I did not have these guys. Well, that's why. So I know on other videos I've mentioned that side of the vehicle was really sun exposed a lot more than this side. The clear coat's rougher. There's some other things you can kind of notice. Well, the fun part about it is they popped these guys off, which this one looked really bad, and you can tell the sun, the UV had yellowed it and started to eat at it. Well, the tabs that are on the back, like right here, broke right off. This is so old and so brittle at this point. This plastic's 20 plus years old. It's sat in the sun, it's heat cycled, and the net result is these pieces right here that hold the retaining ring in have just popped right off. So the good news is, and frankly, this guy ain't looking too hot either, and the one in front kind of looks okay too. So the good news is 4 of these with Toyota logos on them are $34 online. So I've got a new set coming right now, but until then, we're just gonna have to look kind of hoopty about it. I did get the tires balanced today too. Really resolved a lot of underlying issues. Very, very happy with that and how it's turned out. And, you know, frankly, we're kind of closing in on completion of the bulk of the project items. I got to get some PDR pricing on a dent, and I got a few other odds and ends to do. But appreciate you guys tuning in and subscribing and seeing kind of the fun work that we've been doing to this 2004 Toyota Tundra to kind of make it back to its former glory, daily driver status. And we're happy to answer any questions. Feel free to drop any comments down below, and appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks.